Hello and welcome to North Penn News. I'm Melissa Croak.
And I'm Jesse Alexander. In our first story, I'm going to Disneyland. Well, that's what the students at Pembroke Middle School Jazz Band are thinking as they head to sunny California. The Jazz Band is one of only 2 middle school jazz bands to attend the International Jazz Educators Association Conference in Anaheim, California. The ensemble can proudly say that they are the only middle school band from the United States. The other band is coming all the way from the former Soviet Union. The students have been working hard both in and outside of school to prepare for the trip. The band plays an hour concert on Friday, and their show will include solo accompaniment by professional musicians Mike Vox and Han Nark. Some members are excited and nervous, but all are going to learn a lot.
Kids are going to get an education in the real world, as I tell them. They're going to spend 4 days with adults in an adult hotel, spending time with adult musicians that make their living as artists. So I think it's a great thing for our kids, and it's something they wouldn't get in any other situation.
Congratulations to a group of talented musicians on a great accomplishment.
Elementary school students across the district have been competing in the National Geographic Geography Day. Students answer questions provided by National Geographic, testing their knowledge of the world. Nash Elementary School's champion was Thomas Rizzo, while York Avenue's champion was Thomas Mitchner. The winners will now take a written test to determine if they will move on to state competition.
The class of 2000 has been planning a variety of service projects throughout the year to help the less fortunate. The first project of the year was held on November 5th when the class visited the elderly at Gwinnett Square Center for Nursing and Convalescent Care. The students helped the residents build gingerbread houses, and they also interacted with them. The second service project was held November 17th. The students aided in preparing a meal and provided the dessert for the needy at Manna on Main Street.
In the spirit of giving, the class of 2001 reached out to the North Penn community.
North Penn News reporter Jillian Gallagher has the story.
Thanks to the sophomore class, the holiday season was a little brighter for some of the residents at the North Penn Convalescent Center. As part of the sophomore class service project, each homeroom adopted a grandparent from the Convalescent Center. Every sophomore homeroom collected $25 from their students to buy their grandparent a holiday gift. The directors of the center gave each homeroom a profile of their new grandparent, including a picture and a holiday wish list. In addition to gift giving, the sophomores, as well as the grandparents, enjoyed singing some Christmas carols and winter tunes. The class officers felt the visit went well and are looking forward to making more visits in the coming years. For North Penn News, I'm Jillian Gallagher.
The North Penn High School Theater Department is once again putting on their annual children's shows. On January 16th at 10 a.m., the group will perform Snow White and Alice's Amazing Adventures. Tickets are $4 a piece and can be purchased through the North Penn High School's main office.
The North Penn chorus and band students were treated to a performance by the Yale student group Mixed Company. The 17-member group included North Penn class of 1997 graduate Krupa Desai. The group performed songs a cappella, and their selections included Lullaby by Billy Joel and Seasons of Love from the show Rent. The group also performed several comic skits, including one about completing a college interview and one about the Yale-Harvard football rivalry. The show was very well received by the audience.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more North Penn News after the break.
You don't have to like me.
Or you can. You don't have to be my friend.
But you might like me
If you got to know me.
You don't have to be my roommate.
I am gonna be your neighbor. You don't have to run with me.
You really don't have to run away from me.
You may not like what I have to say.
But hear me.
Hear me out.
Man, we're not all that different.
I like good food.
Good music.
I love my mom. Yeah, I want to fall in love.
Madly. I want a good job.
I want my kids to live in a world
Where they are safe and loved.
And respected for who they are.
You don't have to like me. But if you talk to me,
You might.
we can end prejudice if we talk to each other. Call. Tell us what you do.
Together we can build one America.
Welcome back to North Penn News. It's the new year and it's time for new scholarships. In January, the Ron Brown Scholarship for seniors is due January 9th. The Discovery Card Tribute Scholarship for juniors is due January 14th. And the Washington Crossing Foundation Scholarship for seniors is due the 15th. There are also many scholarships due in February. See Mrs. Coyote Keller in the Future Planning Center for information on these scholarships as well as many others.
SATs will now be offered at North Penn High School on January 23, 1999. The registration deadline and the late registration deadline for the January test have already passed, but the test will also be offered on March 20th, 1999. The registration deadline for the March test is February 12th. The Future Plan Center can answer any questions regarding the SATs.
The cold weather has arrived once again, and it's time for some snow and ice. In case of inclement weather, tune to North Penn Television for up-to-the-minute information on inclement weather conditions and school closings. You can also tune into 1440 WNPV. The school code for the North Penn School District is 303.
To all North Penn secondary students and parents, if you have not yet returned the Internet User Agreement form, the North Penn School District is asking that they be returned as soon as possible. The policies were sent home in the fall with a self-addressed stamped return envelope. If you did not receive one or you have misplaced it, contact the North Penn Technology Department at 368-9800 extension 213 for another copy.
To all North Penn High School students, the final orders for the Accolade North Penn High School's yearbook take place next week. Students should bring $50 cash only on Wednesday, Thursday, January 13th and 14th, during all lunch periods. This is the last chance this year to order the Accolade.
The North Penn School District is looking for certified teachers to substitute in all subject areas and grade levels. Candidates to substitute must have at least a bachelor's degree. The district is also looking for people to fill secretarial and clerical positions, library aides, and special education aides. Interested persons can contact Dr. Joseph Conley, Assistant Director of Human Resources, for an application packet. Call 368-0400, extension 216, or write North Penn School District, 4001 East Hancock Street, Lansdale, PA 19446.
The North Penn High School Booster Club, which supports all 25 athletic teams in the high school, invites the parents of all athletes to attend monthly meetings on the first Monday of every month. The club sponsors 3 award desserts and also provides the MPV trophies to each team and the commemorative T-shirts to each championship team. For more information, contact June Brown at 610-584-9684.
Attention all faculty and students, Friday, January 15th will be an early dismissal day for all North Penn students. All schools will also be closed Monday, January 18th for the Martin Luther King holiday.
The North Penn School District Board of School Directors will hold its monthly action agenda meeting on Thursday, January 21st. The meeting begins at 7:30 p.m. and take place at the Educational Service Centers.
We'll be back in just a few moments with North Penn Sports. Stay with us.
What would you do if you had to choose between the buffalo and the giraffes, between a flower or an elephant? What would you choose? What if you had to decide between a 100-year-old tree and a 1,000,000-year-old beach? Between drinking clean water or breathing clean air? Would you make the right choice? Would there be a right choice? Now there's a way to help you. Not just one, but all these things. EarthShare, the world's leading environmental groups working together. It's one choice we can all live with. Ask your employer about workplace giving.
Welcome back. In North Penn sports, congratulations to North Penn Knights football player Dave Koslow, who was named to the Associated Press's All-State Big School First Team this week. Koslow was named to the team as a defensive lineman. Koslow will take his talents to Penn State University next year, where he will play for the Nittany Lions on a full-ride scholarship. Congratulations, Dave.
With the chance to hand Pennsbury their second loss of the season, the North Penn Knights' hopes were high heading into their league matchup with the Falcons. But a disappointing second half cost the Knights as they dropped a 80-49 decision to Pennsbury. Justin Hughes led North Penn with 14 points, who were outscored 49-27 in the second half. Jay Joseph and Clay Kutlick also finished in double figures for the Knights. North Penn travels to CB West on Tuesday night to play the Bucks.
In a game pushed back 24 hours because of snow, the North Penn Maidens lost a back and forth battle on the courts to Pennsbury, 50-44. North Penn was outscored 23-2 in the second quarter, but rallied in the fourth quarter, using a 20-point run to get the lead. The Maidens could not hang on, however, and lost in the final minutes. Amber Smolinski led the way for the Maidens with 20 points, including 4 three-pointers. North Penn hosts CB West on Tuesday night.
Facing tough competition at the Easton Phillipsburg Invitational Duels, North Penn's wrestling team dropped 2 matches this past weekend. The Knights lost to a league match to Council Rock 39-31 and lost to Randolph, New Jersey 33-28. Kevin Hammond was the lone Knight to win 2 matches, but Jeff Ceramic, Dave Messerschmidt, and Jeff Falterbauer all pinned his opponent in the match against Randolph. The Knights will wrestle the CB West Patriots at home on Wednesday.
At the Wilson Relays this weekend, the North Penn Knights and Maidens both brought home championships. The Knights edged out Wilson by 1 point, and the Maidens beat the Bulldogs by 2 points. The event came down to the co-ed relay for both teams. North Penn took second in the final event, and Wilson took third. The results of that event gave both North Penn squads the championship.
And finally, the North Penn winter track team had a strong showing this past weekend at Lehigh. The Knights brought home 7 place winners, led by the champion distance medley relay team of Lee Benedette, Aaron Thomas, Jim Farrow, and Zach Webb. Dave Buckhart and added a second place in the triple jump. The Knights will run at Glen Mills on Tuesday and then will run at Kutztown on Saturday.
Well, that's it for this edition of North Penn News. For the entire North Penn News team, I'm Melissa Croak.
And I'm Jesse Alexander. Sports Night with Kyle Berger is up next. Stay tuned.
If you're not recycling, you're throwing it all away.
Yeah! Who's the man? Yeah! All right! It's my birthday! It's my birthday! Oh, it's so pretty! Oh, I told you! Don't be bringing that weak stuff in here! Yeah! Who's the man? Who's the man?
Exercised lately?
When you buy over-packaged products, you're really saying, go ahead, pollute our air and water. So when they tell you to look for less packaging, you tell them you'd rather throw it all away. Buy smart, waste less, save more.
Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Sports Night. I'm your host, Kyle Berger. Joining me on this week's edition of Sports Night, I have two members of the North Penn swimming team, Chris Craig and Steve Pasquale. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you.
We'll start off with you, Steve. You know, you guys are both on the water polo team, second in the state this year, and, you know, that's a pretty impressive accomplishment, but also rich tradition of the water polo team. That also helps get you guys in shape for swimming. Explain a little bit about that.
Well, we use the water polo season, like you said, to get us in shape for the swim season by having morning practices during the water polo season, where we just swim the entire morning. So that also enables us to practice more in our skills and our plays in the afternoon for water polo, since the only real 3 months that we practice that sport are in the fall, so we need as much time as possible.
Okay, Chris, you're sporting your water polo all-state team T-shirt today. Congratulations about that. What do you find to be harder to accomplish, playing water polo or swimming?
Well, water polo really is a difficult sport because there's a lot of thinking involved. You have to learn to work with teammates and see how, like, what to do with each other, and that's really kind of difficult. But with swimming, it's pretty much individual. You like, whatever you do is how good everything's going to turn out.
So do you find swimming to be a bit more tedious? I mean, just swimming up and down the pool all day, as opposed to, you know, actually with water polo, the goal to accomplish scoring something, or, you know, just passing the ball around to your teammates. Just swimming up and down by yourself can get pretty lonely out there.
Yeah, it gets tiring after some times. You gotta push through all those tough moments, but water polo is a lot more fun when you get to interact with other people, and it's fun to do something other than just swim back and forth.
Steve, 172 straight wins is the streak right now for the North Penn swimming team in dual meets. That's over 10 years. That's got to be pretty outstanding to be a part of a team with a tradition such as that.
Yeah, it makes me feel really great that the swim team has been doing so well over the years, and we're known across the state for having a really good team. It also makes us like one of the teams that everyone wants to knock off from year to year, but that only helps us to push ourselves harder each year to make sure that we maintain that streak.
Chris, your older brother was here while you were here for an overlap of a year or so. Did that help you kind of get into the mix of things with the swim team, and has he helped to push you throughout your career?
Yeah, it was a great experience being with him on the team. I knew how everything worked before because I knew what he went through when he was younger, and with him being on the team, I could see like what he did when he was on the team and like what I should be able to do.
Your two events this year, the 500 free and the 200 free, and you're trying to make a name for yourself, not only locally but statewide in the 500. You were talking with me a little bit earlier about you're pretty close to getting the pool record here at North Penn. That'd be pretty special.
Yeah, in the 200, the first meet, I was a couple tenths of a second off, and hopefully I can get that by the end of the season. I already went fast in another pool. Hopefully I can swim well during one of our home meets and hopefully get my name up on the record board, which is a pretty good accomplishment.
What are you looking as far as statewide? Are you going for the state championship in the 200?
Last year I was 6th in that event, so I'm trying to move up. I don't know about state championship, but it would certainly be nice if I could try and shoot as high as I can.
Okay, Steve, he does the distance events. You're more of a sprinter. 50 free, the fastest event in the pool, and the 100 back. You guys have a bit of a debate before the show as to who's the better swimmers, the distance guys or the sprinters. What's your take on that?
Well, myself being a sprinter, I'm going to have to say that the sprinters are definitely the harder workers, because we always got short sets where we have to go all out. But then again, I will admit the distance swimmers do swim probably a lot more yards than we do. So I don't know, we both have our own training program and we both work hard. So it's just a matter of who works the hardest, I guess you could say.
Well, today I'm sporting an eye injury from wrestling. You had an eye injury of yourself, kind of a funny story. A little bit serious, but kind of funny. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it was our first home meet of the season against Smith Acton, and before our meets we do a circle cheer where the seniors get in the middle in a circle and we stand up and say something, and then the underclassmen stand up and reply. And as I was standing up, another teammate of mine, Eric Bakochi, stood up and he just clonked me right in this eye, and it turned out to be a pretty bad cut. I ended up having to get 7 stitches in it, and it took me out of the water for a couple days. So it was, yeah, like you said, it was funny how it happened. It turned out to be real serious. I never knew that just like a head could do so much damage to me, but I got the stitches out a week later, and I'm over that now. I'm swimming again, so.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Chris, he had touched a little bit about the conditioning of swimming. Is it different from water polo, and also is this conditioning that Steve does being a sprinter different from your conditioning as a distance swimmer?
Yeah, with water polo, you're pretty much used to just swimming up and down the pool, really quick bursts, and you got to swim and you turn the ball over and you got to swim all the way back, and it's a lot shorter little sprints. But then when it comes around to swimming, you do a lot longer things, and you have to make sure you have a lot of endurance and make it through practice. And
so you find yourself sort of having to pace yourself throughout the season, as opposed to, water polo. It is a long season, granted, but throughout the season you're just kind of going back and forth. But swimming, especially with your distance, 500 yards is pretty long.
Yeah, you have to pace yourself. You got to make sure that you don't tire yourself out too much, because you can really wear yourself down.
Okay, Steve, shaving and tapering, that's kind of an interesting topic. Not a lot of people know about it. Tell us about this philosophy with swimming.
Well, at the end of the season, when we come to our district meet, that's the meet that our team wants to do our best at. And so we shave and taper for that meet. And what that is we shave all the body hair off us that's not covered by our suit, so that you feel, when you dive in the water, you feel really, I want to say aerodynamic, but that'd be like in the air. So, but it's just a feeling you get, like you feel really fast without any hair in your body, and especially off your head. You can see I have quite a lot of hair up there. And then tapering is just what we use to term how we rest for the meet. Like we decrease our yardage for the 2 weeks before districts and just make sure we get a lot of rest. So that's basically what shaving and tapering is.
You find that works, so how much time would that chop off? A couple tenths of a second?
Last year in my 100 backstroke, it actually chopped off 3 seconds. So
wow, that's a lot in swimming.
It did work.
Okay. Now, for next year for you, you're looking at Franklin and Marshall University, Lehigh University, and Syracuse, 3 quality schools. Do you have a top choice yet?
I'd have to say that I'm leaning towards Franklin or Marshall. I like it out there. It's a small school. It's actually smaller than here. And the coach out there, I like the swim team. So you do intend to swim next year if you go there? Yeah. Okay, Chris, for you, it looks like either William and Mary or Eastern Michigan. You're leaning toward William and Mary to swim?
Yeah, William and Mary, it's a real nice, it's a sort of a small school. It's only about 5,000, and they have a pretty good team. They're doing really well in their conference this year, and I feel like I can fit pretty well in there.
Okay, well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Sports Night. Thanks to Steve and Chris for being on the show, and best of luck to you in search of your 3rd straight state title this year in the pool.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, for all of us here at North Penn Television, I'm Kyle Berger, and I'll see you at the game.
Every week for the past 4 years, Stephanie has read stories to a room full of Savannah, Georgia preschoolers. Every week, the look on the children's faces is priceless. The love that Stephanie feels from every child has made her life a whole lot brighter. Even though Stephanie has never even seen their faces. To see how you can help in your community, call the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
It's my birthday. I'm the man. It's my birthday.
Exercised lately?